dear.
Oh dear. Alright guys, so I'm Lost today, okay? I don't watch Lost, but I gotta tell you, man, it was pretty awesome. So let me give you a rundown. There was this big dude and this other dude, and they went into this place, and then they were smashing mirrors and like, whoa, check out these tiles, and there was names, and it was crazy. Alright, and then I was doing whatever else. And I looked back in the screen, and there's these other people in the hospital. This guy, he was trying to marry this other girl, what happened, whatever timeline. And he didn't happen to marry her, so he was mad. But the other guy that married her, he ended up in the hospital, so maybe they were supposed to be together. I don't know. And then we're back on the island, and I looked away again, and I looked back, and then this guy with curly hair, he's trying to stab this guy with bald, and they don't know what's going on. He stabs the guy that's bald. The guy's like, oh, guess what? I'm immortal. Oh, sword. And he's like, here, you can have it back. And the guy's like, all right. So he goes back to this like ninja jutsu guy or whatever in this temple, and he's like, hey, what's going on? And then it cuts to a different scene where they're in a restaurant, and it's this guy, whatever his name is, he's cooking omelets, and he's like, hey, guess what? I'm cooking omelets. Hey, you haven't seen me in like 3 seasons, huh? Anyway, so whatever. And then he comes over, and he's like, well, here's the deal. And then guns come out, and there's slashing and shooting, and Saeed, this guy, I don't know his name, whatever. Anyway, he's like, it's over. Bam! And he's like, oh, I'm dying. And then he goes in the freezer, and this guy in the freezer, and it's some Asian guy that doesn't speak English. And I was like, all right. So then he's like, oh, wait, in the alternate timeline, he learns English from being on the island, but this doesn't happen because we're in the season 6 timeline. Anyway, well, then we're back on the island, and the guy with the knife, he's like, hey, I'm back. I tried killing that guy, but it didn't work. And the Ninja Master's like, oh, you know what, guy? So then he's like, well, there's nothing more you can do. Would you like to stay? And the guy's like, sure. And he's like, knife in the face. And then he's down in the water. But then, like, before that, the guy that got knifed in the face, the Ninja Master, he was talking about his kid and whatever, and he's on the island, and he can't leave, and he can't see his kid again. He's got some baseball or whatever. And he's like, knife in the face, falling upon him. There's like a baseball. He's like, and then the baseball floats up. And the guy's dead because it came out of his hand. He's like, oh, I can't grip it. Anyway, well, then the guy with the knife, he's like, yeah, I'm running. And he's like, run. And he's like, and there's people like, oh no! And some other guy's kind of baldy, I don't know his name. He's like, you let out the monster! And the guy's like, whatever. He's like, run. And he's like, oh no! And then there's some guy that looks like John from John and Kate will say, I don't know his name. But anyway, he's freaking out, and he's like, whoa, we're all gonna die! And he's like, some girl with long curly hair, she's like, you go that way, and I'll go this way. And she's like, I gotta go get this girl in a pit. So she's like, alright. So she runs and tries to get this girl out of a pit. The girl in the pit's like, nah, I don't feel like coming out of the pit. And the girl's like, come on, the monster's gonna kill you. And the girl in the pit's like, no, it's safe down here. So then the girl is trying to get out. She's like, come on. She's like reaching down. And then she falls in, and the monster goes over the two, and she's like, whoa, shit. It was safe down here. And then it cuts the people outside, and then the monster's gobbling them up or whatever. So they're like, whoa, and there's chaos going on, and then boom, silence, and it's like a wide pan of the outside, and everybody's dead. And the ball guy's there with his cronies, and they're like, hey, and they're like, oh, let's make an alliance. And then like, I don't know, but like some glasses guy gets killed too. He's like, look what you did to the Ninja Master. And the guy with the sword's like, oh! And he kills the guy that was coming in with the glasses. He was like kind of all weird or whatever. Kind of looked like Jeff from Earthbound, kind of sort of, with the hat.
Oh, wow.
Anyway, so he got sliced in the throat, and he's in the pond, he's like, and then the guy earlier that's kind of baldy but not bald, he came in earlier, he's like, hey, look what you did, you idiot, the monster's going to come and eat you. Well, then that's when he came in, he's like, look what you did, you killed people in the pond. And I'm like, whatever, anyway, and then like, at the end of the scene, at the end of the episode, everybody comes together. The big fat dude's there. He's like, oh, the one that like was in the room with the tower and the breaking windows. Like, oh, breaking windows. Anyway, well, he was there, and the other people were there, and the people there, and then there was like people not on the island. They were like, oh, look at the people not on the island. Okay, cut to the island, island, and then everybody's there, and the ball guy's like, join my crew, and they're like, all right. So now there's people on the crew and people not on the crew, but some people on the crew know that he's the monster, and the people that aren't on. The people that aren't on the crew don't know that he's the monster, but we all know that he's the monster. That was Lost Season 6. Hope you enjoyed it. Hey, Lucah Jin, guess what? Guess whose house I'm at? Whoops. You said pics, but it didn't happen. Well, this is video.